Hey, everybody, welcome to Comic Book School. We're at summer school now, so we're all going to be attending comic book school throughout the summer. We have Kris here to inform us what our next steps are. AA is going to tell us what's going on with some of the submission stuff. Of course, we have D here running the backgrounds and all that. I'll be temporarily being the host for tonight. Don't worry, buddy, he'll be back next time. He's just off doing some comic book school stuff, so we said we'd take care of this for him tonight. So, Kris, start telling us what's going on. Keep us up to date.
All right. Well, for the community out there that's involved in the anthology, this is a pretty big week we're coming up on because, your creative processes should be coming to an end. All right. As far as like having everything inked and colored and lettered, fully, put together. We want to see your guys' work in their final folders. All right. The final folders are what the editor's going to be looking at, D and AA, and they got to have access to your stuff easily. So I've gone ahead and I've made some folders for everybody, and I'm going to be sending out links to everybody's folders by the end of the evening tonight. And we just want you to drop your stuff into the folder and make it as easy as possible for us. If the editors see that something needs some tweaks or something, they'll definitely shoot you, a heads up on what to do, what they're looking for, as far as if, like, say, kerneling on the lettering is a little sloppy or something, something's not readable. Maybe some colors are coming out a little bit wrong. Maybe you accidentally sent a single like CMYK file as opposed to like an RGB file. So stuff like that is what the editor is going to be looking at. And they just want to make sure everything's looking nice and tight for the anthology. So that folder is going to be the folder you're going to pretty much drop everything into. And unlike last year, we're not going to be accepting PDFs. That's a big one. So we're going to be actually taking all of the files of each page as a TIFF. All right. Last year, we took everything as a PDF, as a single file. This year, we got to make sure that the files are TIFF and named properly. This way, they're proper order for pagination and as well as just storytelling purposes. And at the same time, we just want everything to be as sharp as possible in the TIFF format. So go ahead, check out the step. We posted it online earlier last week, and all the details, the nitty gritty on, the specs are on that. Just make sure everything is looking nice and sharp. Other than that, for the flash fiction folks, same with you. We want to see your stories as well. You're going to get story folders to drop your stuff as well. It's going to be a little bit easier for you guys. However, we do want to see you try to adhere to some of these standards that Mr. Ari has definitely thrown my way that I didn't know anything about, the Shun standards. So when you can, just look at the guidelines for how to submit your Word files and get them in the folder along with the artwork for your story. Other than that, I don't think there's really much else as far as the submission process I need to be bringing to you guys. Am I forgetting anything?
Yep. Some dates, Kris. When do you want the stuff?
Oh, yes. If you can get everything in your folders by the 1st of July, maybe the 2nd, this way it gives D and A like a full month to get the editing going. All right. We're going to be spending as much time as we can getting these as perfect as possible. And there's going to be a dialogue between you guys and the editors. So yeah, try to get them in by the end of this week. This way they've got a full month to work with you and, make the tweaks that need to be made. Good. That's all from me.
All right, you got the hot seat.
All right. So yeah, get your stuff in. We want to see your stuff. If you remember last year, we had we had an editing process where we'd get stuff, we'd send you back some requests, and then we would ask for work again. It's really important because unlike last year where we had kind of a nebulous end of the year deadline, this year we are trying to get the book out in time for New York Comic Con. And we need time to produce the book, get it ready, get it up online by New York Comic Con. One of the reasons why we need to get it online by New York Comic Con is that now with cons being back, Comic Book School will be returning to the con circuit. Bunch of us were on a call with Buddy yesterday talking about our plan for New York Comic Con. Nothing is set in stone yet, but we know that we will be having panels there as usual. So New York Comic Con will mark the Comic Book School return to the con circuit, and we hope to be at a number of other cons as well. So as you get back out there, look for our comic book school panels. And if you are going to the con, if you're going to New York Comic Con, then be sure to tell people that you have a book with a New York Comic Con release, which is our Creator Connection panel to the time in.
Now, also, guys, if you haven't already filled out your pro badges, you've ran out of time to get at least told that you're going to have a badge. You might have to buy tickets now, not knowing if you have a pro badge, but you should still fill out having a pro badge, because New York Comic Con typically does have an exchange program where they will buy back your tickets. But be aware the dates for actually being told if you're going to be admitted as a pro are the end of next week, we'll hear, and the tickets go on sale the following week. So be aware, this is happening very fast now. So mark these calendars, mark these dates on your calendars, and be ready to get on to get tickets and be part of this event, because there's no guarantees this year. It's going to be a very rough year ticket-wise, because people are going to flood in and no one's sure what's going on. So be assertive, be ahead of the game, be aware, and be online early as possible.
Yep. The dates for New York Comic Con, we will get that up in a second.
The dates for New York Comic Con are the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. That is the official dates.
Yeah.
All right, so let's throw it then to D for some updates on the script archive and video archives for the site.
You're muted.
The script archives and video archives for the site are basically going to come from Buddy. So a lot of that sort of past material that he's got, we're working on not only getting a lot of interviews and things that he's had, but also a lot of stuff that maybe he did at Wizard or other things that are going to go up on the YouTube channel. So as we get more information about that, we'll let you guys know, but they will be coming in on the YouTube channels, and they'll be linking out to the website. So if there are things that you know Buddy's done in the past that maybe somebody had a camera about, let us know and we'll make sure to get that up.
All right, guys. A few things that we wanted to talk about this week with you guys, the community. We want you more involved, obviously. So what we're going to try to do is start working on a newsletter that will go out ahead of this council meeting so you guys can have more of a town hall. But we need you to get active. We need you to be active on the boards. You have to let us know that you're participating and these are worth it. Because we could easily just turn this into an interview show once a month where Buddy interviews someone and we can put our energy into there. We don't want to do that. We want to have you guys involved. We know that everything is opening up, but this is still an important process of your part of your process with your creative journey. Having these connections are really going to help you ultimately. So you have to stay active. You have to respond to your emails. We shouldn't have to be tracking you down. And you're talking to the guy who's had horrible luck all year with his artist. I've had nothing but COVID get in the way of everything I've tried to do this year. But I'm still here, and I'm still helping out. There's no excuse not to show up to these meetings, at least just to stay connected, to stay in the know, to know that New York Comic Con is really happening. So I know there's even rumors online right now. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Yes, it is happening. So far, it sounds like it might even be at 75%. It might go to 100%. You're going to have to stay active in the community to know those things. That's what this is all about. Plus, we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your questions. And we're only going to know what you guys are thinking if you step up and say something. Thank you. I'll fix that right now. we kind of did this in the quick, so I appreciate that. So, Erin, what else do we have today?
That's on Kris. I'm trying to get some background stuff fixed.
Nah,
So, Kris. We had the world's technical difficulties today, and so we're just
that's perfectly fine. It's what happens when we have this world of internet, and the internet decides to fart on us, and it's just like, oh, this is so gross. Why did it happen? And it just so happened to be this week, the week when we pushed everything back after. By the way, happy belated Father's Day to everyone out there that's a father. I hope you guys had a good weekend and everything. I hope you guys have a great every day. It doesn't matter, fathers, mothers, all of it. But definitely, because I know there are a lot of fathers in the community that have taken some time off for their kids in the past week or whatnot. So yes, as far as like all the other stuff that we've talked about, like dates for the anthology, submission guidelines, all that stuff to keep a heads up. I, for one, just wanted to just pretty much say that I'm really excited for this con stuff coming up. I'm letting everyone know because, my fingers are crossed. I'm trying to get a table this year at several cons. Hopefully Comic-Con gives me that thumbs up. It's like Rob said, it's going to be hard. So you do have to make sure you're on top of those dates as far as like, application dates, because those dates are really coming fast. And I actually got a heads up from one of my friends, Dennis, over at Pronto Comics. He basically just threw out a text at me and said, "Hey, today's the deadline. Get that Artist Alley submission, out there." And it was like 2 p.m, 5 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening was when the deadline was. So I had to so yes, definitely everybody pay attention to those deadlines. Check your emails, check your spam, see if anything from like Read Pop or anything is, going to the spam, because you never want to miss out on something like that, especially when it's getting very important to, make those connections with fans and meet new fans and creators and stuff. Did they say adding dates to the calendar?
So Miriam, the dates are on the calendar in the forum. They're not on the open comic book school website. They are on the forums, but the calendar should be there up to date with the New York Comic Con dates on there. And then as soon as we have confirmations of any other cons, we'll add those to the calendar.
I think he's also talking about things like what we're doing now, which we can try to work out a better calendar. We're always trying to improve, guys. This is live and learn and fix and go. And you guys are all part of that process. If any of you guys know something that works better, speak up. Even if you just tell us what it is so we can Google it and figure it out, we're happy to add that stuff. Remember, you guys are the engine of Comic Book School and this anthology project. You're supposed to keep us going with all the information that you can give us. So, Kris is in charge, and he wants to know from you guys. The feedback is so important. So thank you for asking us about the calendar. And we'll make sure to talk about that in upcoming meetings with the council.
Yeah, and like they just said, guys, it's a town, and if the community is not helping fix the town's going to just not really turn into a ghost town. So go ahead, reach out to us. It doesn't matter what the feedback is. Negative feedback is usually the things that get fixed first. But at the same time, feedback's feedback. So
be nice. We're trying.
Be nice. We have feelings. Some of us, yeah. Speaking of, for those of you out there who are, and I wanted to give this announcement on the forums or whatnot, but I figured this might be a little easier. For those of you out there that are designers or graphic artists of any way, shape, or form, I know that there's InDesign and the Adobe suite and all that kind of stuff that people primarily work on. But then there's also, was that Clip Art Studio or whatever? Clip Studio Pro or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Studio Paint.
Clip Studio Paint. And then there's like a second program, whatever. For those out there that are doing design and all, there is another program out there called Affinity Designer. It's done by Serif. They have 3 apps. It's Designer, it's Photo, and it's Publisher. And I mean, self-explanatory what the 3 programs do, but they are awesome programs. And one of the things that we are going to be doing in the comic book school community is starting to put together resources for artists and writers to look into, as far as like different programs and stuff for you guys to look into to possibly help make your jobs easier. And I'm shouting a big horn shout for Affinity Designer, because that's what every one of my comics has been built with so far, as far as like lettering and all that gets done. And right now, all the programs are on sale for the next 3 days at half off, which is like $24 an app. And there's no subscription fee. Sorry, Adobe. That's the reason why I walked away from Adobe, is I can't stand those subscription fees. But yeah, they're the apps are completely compatible with one another. So if you have all 3 apps, when you switch between the app, you're just switching the interface. All the apps turn on at the same time if you have like a Mac or a PC, I believe. And they're all compatible with the iPad apps, which are easy. Like, you can start a project in the iPad, finish it on the computer. The programs are so good, and I really give my thumbs up for them. So if any designers out there, or artists or anything, want to get into, change their mode of what they're using, or possibly walk away from subscriptions, try Affinity Designer. It's done by Seraph. Again, it's a killer program. All right. Unpaid, guys. I didn't get paid for any of that. That's how much I love this app. Okay.
I forgot to mention when we were talking about cons is that Comic Book School is also going to be at InBeyond Con in the end of August 28th and 29th, which is an online con. It's run by one of our community members, Sebastian Bonet, who many of you may know from Nerds of the Round, or Creator After Con Network. We are going to have 2 panels there, one on Saturday and one on Sunday from 10 to 11:30. So be on the lookout for more information about that. And some of our members are going to be on some of their other panels as well. So that is another con coming up. That one is online. New York Comic Con is in person, and hopefully we'll be able to get our stuff online as well.
We also want to talk about this evening the fact that Tuesdays are going to be interview days with Buddy. And I think, Erin, you probably are going to be more familiar with how you're building that, because you're the producer. I'm just the backup on that one. So you want to take over and just talk about the idea and how we're going to be running that?
So a lot of our online presence has come from the interviews that we've been having with industry professionals, with people who are doing amazing things in our community. And we'd like to keep doing that. That seems to be something that a lot of people really respond to. One of the reasons that we want to keep it up is because the more that we can get visibility for us and our community in with those working professionals, we can also get them to come into our community and make those networking connections, which is, what Comic Book School is all about. And plus, Buddy loves to give an interview. Who doesn't love to watch Buddy give an interview? So we've got a couple other guests lined up. One of the things that we'd love to do is have a lot of people, again, in the forums, asking questions up front. One of the things that we're going to try and do going forward, and this just sort of came up today, is we're going to try and have sort of more diverse types of comics. So not just Marvel, DC, superhero comics. We're going to try and reach out to those people who do romance comics, manga, comic strips for papers, web comics, that kind of thing. So if there are people that you would like to get, let us know, and we'll see if we can get them on. We'll start that in the forums and make sure that that continues. I can't guarantee we're going to get everybody. Okay, so this is not request and you shall receive. This is, we'll see what we can do. But we definitely want to hear who you want to see. And that means anybody working in comics today. So we want to know what your requests are. The other thing is we wanted to set, even with all of the fun internet issues as we all get back out into the world, we wanted to set a clear defined date that we're going to do this so that if it's a Tuesday night, and we have a guest scheduled, it's going to be that Tuesday night. We're not going to have it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes Saturday. Oh, we're going to change it for a holiday. We're just going to try to always have them on Tuesday. Now, that's not saying that we're going to have them every Tuesday, but if we have a guest scheduled in the week, it will be on a Tuesday. And that way you can kind of get into a rhythm, and we can kind of get into a rhythm of giving you guys content on a day that you have it available.
All right, I'm going to quickly show you guys something that I really hope that you all get involved in, and I'm pitching, and I hope you all support me in this, getting Comic Book School a TikTok. I think it's a great idea for us to build, and I want to actually show you what you can do with TikTok. You all know Victor Dandridge. Look at what me and Victor have been doing this weekend with each other on TikTok.
And Captain Marvel. to be able to snap them back to their rightful place.
All right, this one got me. Here's the thing. Didn't they establish when the Hulk tried to do two things at once that you can't do that with the Infinity Gauntlet? It forces you to make one choice. So if she has to make the choice to put them all back where they belong, they'll go back not the way they were. So she has to make that choice to actually either return them to their shapes, and if they return to their original shapes, they're no longer in the Infinity Gauntlet. The powers aren't the same anymore.
Now, obviously, this was about more of the major stuff out there. But I've been doing duets with other creators, including Fish Lee, Danny J. Quick, God bless you, Jax, and this amazing guy over here for the love of comics who does some great content. Comic books are becoming very popular on TikTok. Now is the time to get in. This is the ground floor. Find me on there, Rob Anderson. Hopefully, Erin's going to build up her channel. We're going to see her doing some drawing. Ari's going to do rap battles, I heard. And Kris is apparently going to be doing instructions on how to draw and actually take someone on the octagon at the same time. There's going to be great content. Remember to be funny when you're on this and have fun. But definitely do stitches with each other. Let's play off each other. Let's build the bases. Let's get fans excited. Let's talk about the hashtags that are working. This is how communities work. When we have an opportunity, TikTok's that opportunity to play off of each other's backs. Please join me on TikTok. I'm serious about this, guys. You'd be amazed what we could do if we start putting our heads together and actually doing something. And of course, we're going to stay on Twitter. Ari's big with knowing what works on Twitter. We're not giving up on. Buddy's not here, so I can mention Facebook. We're going to continue to use Facebook. But don't say it when Buddy's around. Then you want to say hello?
Hello.
All right. So, Kris, we also wanted to talk about the other cons that are possible. And we should ask the community if they're going to any cons and if there's a way that they can communicate with us, because maybe we can all work together in promoting comic book school.
Yeah, that's actually really big too, because with the cons and everything coming back right now, and again, trying to be as tight as possible a community. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know many cons. Like, I know C2E2, I know San Diego, I know New York, but there's like Dragon Con, stuff like that, like cons that just aren't the big spectacle that you see on the news and stuff like that. That I know a couple of months ago there was like 3 different cons down in Florida or something like that. I didn't know about any of these, and it's just stuff that if you're out there and you're conning, hopefully the right type of conning, if you're doing cons, let everyone know, okay? Let everyone know, give everyone an opportunity to possibly get their fingers in those cookie jars, because cons are fun. I said it once already. I'm excited. I can't wait to come back to them. And it's a big deal. Now that cons are starting to come back, I want to try to hit up as many as I can, and as many that I've never heard of before, because it's just fun. It's making comics is fun. Meeting creators and fans is fun. Like, everything about this process is just fun, except for the whole problems of production. But other than that, it's fun.
You learned so much this year joining the production side, didn't you, Kris?
Just a little. Just
don't ward off and scare off other people who might want to try it.
No, seriously, it's all fun. It is all fun. If anyone's got any problems or anything like that, you just got to be a bad person, because this entire process has been a learning experience. Working with everyone that I have worked with so far, you guys, D, Rob, Buddy, everyone, it's been so awesome. And yeah, there's like the nails that come with the work progress and stuff, but at the same time, it's so sweet. Like, anyone that wants to get into comics, if you're not getting into the community that the comic book school is, it's just like you're trying to hold yourself back.
You're missing out.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Like, guys like AA, follow him on Twitter. Guys like Rob, follow him on every resource he's got. He's got like 50. All right. And now with TikTok added to it, I don't know how I'm ever going to keep up with Rob, but yeah, the whole comic creation process should not be just about you sitting at a computer and writing a script and then passing it off to someone to draw. It should be about, making the connections, doing what you can to get your stuff out there, and doing what you can to help support each other. Like, I just put down, I think I just supported 2 Kickstarters. They're only my second and third Kickstarters I've ever supported. And they're for these omnibuses that are coming out. And I'm just like, I can't wait to get my hands on these things.
Comics is a collaborative medium. A lot of people don't think it is, but it really is. The more we network and the more we support each other, the better off we'll all be.
Totally.
We have Roy, who's a first timer. Roy, welcome to it. Comic Book School is a great resource. Comic Book Advocates, as you were just seeing on the screen, that's a place to see some of the events that are coming up. We even do comic book signings. We all rise together, and you all have to get that into your head. That some of the best relationships I've ever made have come out of Comic Book School, and I still talk to these people to this very day. And that's because we all understand comics in a way that you just can't talk to your sisters about unless they're in comics, your brothers, your moms, your dads, even the people that you're romantically involved in, unless they're in the industry, will never understand the industry. Having these friends help you through even negotiations when things are going wrong in a collaborative effort. That's why these communities are so important. Plus, you're hearing things. I mean, you just found out how to get something brand new, some app for artists. I mean, I didn't hear our app for writers, but sure, one for artists.
We're working on you, Rob. We're working on it. I'm sure Ari's got a couple things in his back pocket. We'll get to that next time.
Yeah, I can run off a whole list if you want. Master writer, final drafts,
Put it in the forum, Kris. Put it in the forums.
What?
And Ari, you wanted to talk about Pitch Me an Idea. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so with the anthology wrapping up, we've been discussing what new challenges we can have for our community. And one of the things that we've been talking about is Pitch Me an Idea, which is Buddy's new challenge that he's going to be presenting on the forum. So the idea is, like an editor would tell you, you'd meet with an editor, you say, pitch me an idea, and you'd have to pitch him an idea, except he's going to give you a little bit of guidance, going to give you a prompt. Ideally, he would like for you to use the characters that you use in our Comic Book School anthologies if you participated, but you are not bound by that. You could use your own original characters as well. Of course, we want to open it up to people who did not participate in the anthologies, or I should say have not yet participated in the anthologies. But he's going to tell you, write a story about your character at a Halloween party where something happened, some situation, and you're going to have to pitch him a 1 to 2 paragraph idea for your story involving your character. Post them up on the forums. There's going to be some sort of voting or judging process. It's still in the thing, and then some sort of award, hopefully involving art, but we're not sure yet.
There are some other art challenges coming down the line. We haven't quite worked out the details yet, but there'll be news on that shortly.
So the details are coming out, but there will be more challenges. So as the anthology is wrapping up, we will be having more challenges like that coming out soon. You're going to want to be on the forums, create.comicbookschool.com. That's where all that stuff is going to be announced.
This is going to be an awesome opportunity for the people that did not do the anthologies. Like, I really think this is a good chance for, you're not doing a whole comic or something. The prompts are going to be short and sweet. They're meant for quick action. So for those that have not done the anthologies yet, this is going to be your opportunity to really chip in and try to win something. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about everything. I feel like I'm excited about everything. Why is that? Seriously.
Because you're here, Kris. Because you're here, and we're helping each other out.
And comics are awesome. I can get Keanu Reeves in this room right now, and he'll tell you comics are awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about is the Flash fiction. How is that going, Ari? Well, let's double back and talk about how that process is going.
Yeah, so I mean, the process is pretty much the same. Kris is going to send you a folder for your stuff. You're going to upload your story in the format indicated in the post. Update your art into the same folder. and we're going to edit it and send it back out. The process is virtually identical to that of the comics. The only difference is that we are laying out your text from your Word document after we're done editing it, whereas in the comics, obviously, you're sending us lettered pages. But other than that, the process and the dates are exactly the same. So follow along in Kris's post that we reviewed earlier. And if you want more feedback before you submit your final draft, there's still time to submit another round on the forums. We're still looking for that, but other than that, it's the same exact process as the comic stories.
And remember, you guys, when you're submitting these, either flash fiction or the full 8 pages plus a cover, remember that you guys really need to have a team lead. If you have, multiple artists, if you have a letter or inker, color, writer, artist, just have one person on your team submit those comics. We don't need, 17 sets of files in each folder. And if you're the one submitting, make sure that Kris knows you so that when we send out edits, if there are spelling errors or issues with a print or whatever, we're contacting the team lead. We're not contacting 27 people, trying to get a response. It just streamlines the whole process, and it makes it easier for you to not have to follow up with multiple people, as well as us to not have to follow up with multiple people. So
I'm going to pass the mic to Ari because I know Ari could only stay just a little bit today, and we'll wrap up. The rest of us will wrap up the evening. But Ari, tell them where they can follow you and your handle on Comic Book Schools Forum and how to reach you.
So I'm A. Rubin. As you know, I'm one of the editors along with Dee and Kris. You see right there at the Surreal Ari. That is my handle on everything across social media on the Comic Book School forums. If you have any questions, please reach out. Really excited about this anthology. We have some great stories coming up, and get your stuff in. I want to see all the stories that we've seen on the forums. I want to see them make them into the anthology so that we can have it out. This is your very own New York Comic Con release announcement comic. You get to do it the same as any of the other creators that you've seen. So get yourself in and get your stuff in and, get yourself in the book.
All right. I want to thank Ari for his time tonight. I know he's got to go. One of the things I do want to talk about, and I'm sure Kris will want to chime in on this one, is as a community, you have to understand the opportunities can only be given to you. You have to do the rest of the work. And we've seen that this year I know things have been in flux, but we're planning to do this again and again and again. What's going to wind up happening is the people who are stepping up are going to get the opportunities. I want you guys to understand that that's how this process is going to work. You're not going to see Kris coming to ask you where your stuff is. If you don't make it in on time, you just don't make it into the book. I cannot stress, if you're having a problem, it's okay to tell us you're having a problem. It's okay to say, hey, listen, guys, I fell a little behind. What can I do? Now is the time to say something. Please do not wait until Kris. Go ahead, Dee.
Oh, no, I was just emphasizing your point. If you're going to speak up, do it now.
Yeah, now is the time.
There's nothing wrong with, and there's no judgment on getting behind. When, we had it all the time in the world staying inside last year. Well, some of us still had responsibilities online and with kids and everything else. But, things are very different again this year. And so we're all trying to adjust to everything going on. That's just life. Sometimes you get behind. Don't feel bad about it. This is the learning process.
Marvel and DC have it all the time. It happens to everyone, but the communication is what keeps everyone thinking of you as someone they can rely on. Hey, I told everyone, hey, look, my artist got COVID. Then I had another artist whose family member died. I've just had a run of bad luck. I've wanted to be part of it. Sometimes you just can't win no matter how hard you're trying. It doesn't mean you can't help somewhere else. I can letter if anyone needs me to letter. I've been here to story edit. I've been here for the council meetings. That's my point I really want to drive to you guys. Even if you're not winning this year and you're having trouble, it doesn't mean you don't stick around, you don't come to these meetings, you don't put your face time in so everyone knows, hey, I could be just a proofreader. I can't tell you how important it is just to have proofreaders sometimes and just being able to have conversations with each other about, hey, how does this sound? You have a community now. You have resources now. You have the ability to have a network, use it, learn, ask questions. You guys, that's the one thing I really harp a lot on when we do these. You guys have got to step up with asking questions, because we don't know what's going on in your head until it's like a fire, and then we come in just to put the fire out. And by then, it's really just, triage. Don't make us triage things. Let us get involved earlier on so we can have meetings and help you get to the finish line.
To
Don't
answer
let
that
Rob
question,
intimidate- One sec.
Oh,
Don't let Rob
go ahead.
intimidate you with his harsh words. He's giving it like love. It's hard love. He wants you to succeed.
Well, this is an industry, guys. I mean, just like your job at work and all that, there's expectations. There really is. We can't wait for everyone. I don't want to have everyone who did the work be held up and we not make New York Comic Con because of 3 or 4 people. And it's not that I dislike any one of those 3 people who might be dragging. It just means that those 3 people shouldn't take out the entire project. That's what we're talking about today. And those 3 people doesn't mean we can't add you maybe after New York Con. It's a digital PDF. Maybe we can add you in. So if you get to the finish line late, continue to push forward. Complete what you start. It will matter later in your career. If you don't finish something, you don't get used to the process. The first time you go through it, it's scary. The second time, it's less scary. By the 5th or 6th time, you don't even have to have these steps. You know right away, I need to do this, I need to do that. But you continue to come here because you're talking to people and you're learning. Remember kerning? We were talking about with lettering, all these little tips, story editors. When you sit around in a room with the writers and you just throw something out, someone will be, well, what if you did that? It suddenly changes the entire story. Same with artists. Hey, well, if you just move the arm there, it would translate. We were lucky enough to be part of that Howard. I'm going to say his last name.
Howard Chaykin.
Chaykin, thank you. He was amazing. The things he told us. These were opportunities that were open to us because of the comic book school. Subscribe to the channels. Be active, reach out to people. Like, I don't get asked enough questions. I get more questions from the comic book advocate side of what I do than comic book school. And you guys are missing out on that opportunity because we can put you in touch with people who can help you on this path. I didn't get this help. You don't understand that. Like, I worked my ass off and built highways for you guys to use now. Buddy did the same thing. Dee's learning that, and now we're making this for you guys because we're making it easier for the next generation, because only you can create the story that you have inside your heart, your soul, and your mind. And we want to see that be made. We want to have it in the world. There's not enough to watch on TV. We need your story.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kris, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to answer that question as far as the flash fiction. Due same time. Flash fiction comics are all due. Try to make it in by July 2nd. And if you can't, by a day or 2, that's fine.
Definitely reach out and tell us if you're not going to make that date.
Yes, and I've already gotten an email from someone, Emily. Emily, I'm going to get you your folder. I promise you by the end of the night. For those that have not gotten the folders yet, I haven't sent them out yet. I'm not gonna lie, but I told you they're going to go out by the end of the night. One of the things that you can do if you're really worried that like my email or my message to you is going to go to your junk, email me. Again, like Rob said, this is, a dialogue. We got to be communicating. Okay. So reach out to me. Don't be afraid. I've got like 3 different emails. You can use them all. I don't care. Okay. So actually, don't use the one I use. No. Use them all.
Be clear, Kris. Concise and clear. What email should we use?
burgos.kris@gmail.com. If you really want to get my attention, reach out to me at Tales Beyond. Okay, Kris@talesbeyond.com. That has the fewest emails being sent to it right now, so I can definitely find it easily. But seriously, if you have not received your folder yet, just send me the name of your story. This way I know I have a folder for it, because I'm not gonna lie, making the folders, I had to go through all of the forums to find out who's actually posting on the forums to see who actually has a story that they're putting together for the anthology. And I've got folders for some stories that haven't seen an update on the forums since like step 2 of, months ago. So yeah, I have some folders, but I might not have all the folders I need. And if you don't reach out to me, I don't know. I got to reach out to you. Okay. So again, the communication is huge. Keep it up. All right.
All right.
Other than that,
And we
Is there
also,
anything else, guys?
yeah, we want to talk about, like, we're getting next to con season, right? We're starting to get back there. One of the things that we want to start knowing is, what do you guys need as resources from us to help you along the way? We were talking about, do we need to make shows about crowdfunding? Erin had a beautiful idea. When are you ready for Kickstarter? So few people actually ask that question. Am I really ready to crowdfund a campaign? What are the steps I should be doing? What even goes into that? Everyone will tell you, we'll run a Kickstarter. There's like 37 steps that you really should do before you run your first Kickstarter that no one is talking about. They'll tell you to build things and to do this and how to make the perfect videos and all that, but there are other steps that you really should be doing as well. So we want to know from you guys, what are the resources that you need? One of the things I've been preaching a lot about this week, and this is crazy, on my YouTube channel, I do a show called Backer Pause, where I show Kickstarters from different creators, and we try to help build their backer list. The Backer Pause itself, we pause videos. It's like the Gong Show. If you ever watch the Gong Show, we hit the gong and we talk about what made us lose interest. That's Backer Pause. I have been getting nothing but copyright strikes for the last, well, not strikes, but copyright notifications for the last 13 weeks, all because creators are unaware of how to source copyright-free or royalty-free music for their videos. Very simple steps. I was helping a creator today. He's like, no, it came with my subscription. It came with my subscription. I was like, then why does it say right here to buy the usage? And I circled what he sent me. He's like, what's that? I was like, click it. And he's like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that. So these are topics that you guys need to know in this modern age, where there are these new rules, there are copyright issues, and it's always changing. The whole thing is always changing. Being part of a community like this, subscribing, it's so important that you do that and you be part of the conversation and you ask us questions. I wish there was a resource like this when I first started out over a decade ago. And yes, that makes me sound old. Judge me all you want. I'm on TikTok, so I don't care. What did you think about that, the question that he was saying, Roy? I saw you brought it up.
I was trying to clarify, Roy. You said this is the first time you're hearing of this. Can you get guidelines? Where can I see facts? I wasn't sure what you meant. Were you talking specifically about Backer Pause or music rights, or like, could you clarify real quick?
It helps if I unmute. I think he's talking about the guidelines for comic book schools Anthology, and if that is what you're asking, there we have Erin has gone out of her way, along with Kris and Ari, developing very, thorough steps and directions on what we're doing. So you can find that all by just simply going to comicbookschool.com. It's all very public. It's all there. Our forums can be found in a menu up top, and I believe there's a menu bar where our forums are. All you have to do is sign up, and you're part of the group. There's no membership fee. There's no jumping through hoops. There's no having to constantly fix your kid's video game so you can keep playing. You just have to show up. It's that easy, guys. Show up and be active.
Yep. If you jump on comicbookschool.com, we have submission guides for our 8-page anthology. We also have submission guides for a lot of the independent comic creators that are out there. Buddy spends a lot of time curating those and making sure that if you wanted to submit professionally and get accepted by some of the publishers that are out there, we have up-to-date guidelines about what you should be submitting to them. So we've got a lot of different things. Comicbookschool.com is probably the best resource. And then if you still have questions, jump on the forums. We're always happy to help.
Absolutely. And again, and I can't stress this enough, communicate with each other, not just the people you're seeing when you show up to this, the fellow people. When you see someone doing something cool in a forum, yo, that's cool. Can I ask you a question? Where can I follow you on social media? How can we start a conversation? I'd like to know more because I like what you're creating. Like, we're talking about bringing in manga, and there's a conversation where we're like, oh, it's like, I don't do that, but let's find something.
We've had a couple questions of some of our guests about how they feel about Eastern comics and specifically manga. And a lot of Western comic creators, specifically those who work for, DC and Marvel, maybe don't have a lot of familiarity with how that stuff works. Oh, the Flash Fiction. Flash Fiction is also on the Comic Book School. You can catch it there. You can even, there's a search, so you can search for flash fiction entries specifically if you'd like. And so a couple of us were talking today about possibly getting some manga artists and some other people who can speak to that, because we've had some interest. And like I said, we're looking for more diverse guests. So jump on the forums and let us know who you'd like to see.
Where's that search bar?
It's right up underneath the StreamYard logo.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, up top here. So
Yeah.
just flash fiction. It's right where my site one is too. I just didn't see it, so I'm being a goofball. There you go. Here it is.
It'll come right up.
And you get all your flash fiction. It can't get any easier. I mean, horsies, this is the water. Go ahead and drink it up. All right, so we're getting to be about at the hour limit. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk just a little bit more about the expectations of professionalism, because I know that was something we wanted to. This was something I know that wanted to be addressed, guys. If you're sending us an email and we're responding to you, we expect a prompt response within 2 or 3 days. I think that's more than okay. I mean, everyone should be checking your emails every 2 days. I check my emails daily, if not 5 times a day, and I have multiple accounts. So you should be checking your emails, get back to us, because if you wait 2 weeks, we're not going to remember what you're talking about. We're going to have to go back, and we're probably going to have to look something up, especially if we were trying to help you. If we're trying to get you help, it's also professionalism. You want to be professional in this industry, right? You want to be seen as someone who's reliable, who can be counted on. If I send you an email, and I did this for 20 people who subscribed to the site, everyone who subscribed to the site got a personal email from me. 2 people return those emails. Every year when we go to comic book school, Kris knows this, we all pass each other cards. I have written to people. I will tell you, the people who've gotten back to me are 5 people, and they're all my friends now. I want you to hear that again. Those 5 people are still my friends now, because we communicated, we got to know each other, we met up on different social media platforms. This is the way forward. And for you Mandalorian fans, this is the way. So get with it. Get with it. Let's be.
Well, and that's a couple of the things. I mean, I wish Buddy were here. He's got sayings for all this stuff too. Like, I know, Rob, you and him agree on a lot of things, and I think a lot of that stuff comes out in the stuff that we do. Comic book school is not just about how to make comics. It's about how to make comics and succeed in the business. It's about the networking aspect. It's going to teach you how to make a comic, but once you have it, it's just a book. You still need to know how to print it, publish it, get it out to people to read, because otherwise, what's the point? So we basically, yeah, thanks, Miriam. Miriam is one of our great members who always comes in with some of the best comments. So thanks, Miriam. But basically, we're teaching you comics. We're teaching how to make comics, but also on the site, we like to teach professionalism. We like to teach how the business is run. Okay. And that's not just, the big Marvel, DC. It's also indie comics. It's also networking. It's also cons. And being professional and setting expectations and fulfilling them is one of the things that's going to make you a reliable person that people want to buy comic books from and be friends with in this community. So asking questions, following up on answers, helping other people out when you have the opportunity. Like Rob said, we all rise together. And that's what this community is about. It's not just about, I want to make a book, I make a book, and then I leave. No, it's about the connections that you make here and how we can all improve the comic book community.
Understand, everyone here is volunteering. Everyone's giving up their time to help you. We're doing that because we've been in your position. And we want to help make the journey easier for you so we can continue to have a creative market. Comic books are on an upswing that we haven't seen in decades. Now is the time to take your dream very serious and get in with this wave and cement yourself into someone who can be counted on, who is professional and knows how to get things done. And if you can't get something done, just communicate it. Look, I'm drowning. Nothing I can do. I've tried to make this happen and it's not happening. Where can I help so I can still be part of this? People will remember that next year when you're not struggling. People are going to be like, I remember Jim. Jim didn't give up. Jane came through. She got all the things she needed to get done. You know, and trust me, we're always going to understand things going wrong because we all live on the same planet. We all deal with the same stuff. No one got a special decoder ring that makes their life perfect in this group.
Except for Kris. But
Sorry.
he hasn't shared that decoder ring yet, so we're still keeping him around until he shares all those secrets.
One day.
All right. If no one else has any other questions, I think that this is a good time we can just start wrapping it up and just go over the final things, the submission dates and all that. Kris, if you just want to go over a quick recap, make sure for anyone showing up late.
Really quick, just try to get all your stuff in by the 2nd of July. That's comics. That's the flash fiction. It's the art for the flash fiction. This way, you've got the whole month to allow the editors to have a dialogue with you about fixing anything that needs to be tweaked. I'm already getting a bunch of emails, so thank you, Glenn, Christian, Emily, all y'all. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we're talking about. Reach out. Let me know, because once I've got your name in my email, I know we want to see you active in the forums and everything, but if you can't get a hold of someone, reach out to them any other way you can. I'm not going to lie, email is definitely the easiest way to get a hold of me. I've got so many different windows on my phone open. It's just too many apps. But yeah, other than that, the 2nd, this way, everything is up and running by the end of the month. And we have the full anthology finished, like not just, edited. I'm talking completely finished, full pagination, everything. And when that gets handed off to D, whoo, that's going to be glorious because you're doing it, right, D? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I do want to stress, as Kris is saying this, to also remember that Kris and D are not getting paid for what they do. So do not treat them as if they're your employee. Treat them as your equal, be respectful, and listen to them and have open conversations. Don't get mad because you don't like the editing that you're hearing. Learn from what they're seeing, and if you want to have a conversation back, do so cordially. Hey, this is why I did this. I do that with my editors all the time. This is exactly why I did this, and my editor will think about it and go, okay, that does make sense, or they'll be like, I don't care, Rob. It still doesn't make sense. You can't do that. And then I cry and I do it the editor's way because ultimately it's never about us as creators. It's about the fan that reads it. It's our responsibility to give them the best product that we are capable of making. And that's where the editor comes in because they remove you enough that you can see the mistakes.
We're never going to come back at you with something that you absolutely is going to destroy your book. So trust us. We're only just trying to make things better. If you ever have an issue with anybody who sends you edits from our team, by all means, raise a red flag and just be like, I'm having problems with this edit or this person or whatever, but we're here to help. We're here to push the book to be the best it can be. And that includes everything that you guys have. And like Rob said, we're not getting paid for this, but we're trying to put out the best anthology possible. So
Kris wants to get paid. He's muted, so I can just translate. He said he has the key to everyone's heart.
That's so sweet.
It's a paper opener with the heart, Anyway, so yeah.
So Kris, your email and where we can find you on social?
You can find me on social, Instagram. I'm Kris.Burgos, or you can look up Tales Beyond. If you check me out email, my email is burgos.kris@gmail.com or kris@talesbeyond.com. Either email is working. Yeah. Oh, and Twitter, I am JiggyKB because I get jiggy with it. That's old. That's old, but I went with it. It's going to be changing. It's going to be changing, I promise, to something classy.
Stay classy, kids. D, where can we find you?
I'm at Redheaded Ed on Twitter. I know it looks like a lot of EDs, but I promise it's pretty simple. Redheaded and my initials, ED. I'm also on Comic Book School, D Alley or Redheaded Ed. You can find me on the forums whenever. You can also find me at redheadeded@gmail.com or Google Chats if you need me on there. Facebook, I'm listed as D EE Alley because Facebook doesn't believe in single letter names. But if you go to any of these people's profiles, I'm probably one of their friends. You can find me through there.
You can find all my stuff at chainlinks.site on my website, and make sure that you join TikTok and come stitch with me. We'll have some fun. We'll explore the newest trending social media platform that is showing exponential growth. So this is a great way to be part of a community, and we can interact with each other, have some fun, and show our creative sides off. And as a writer, I'm going to give you guys a huge tip here that this is so invaluable. So, and I was talking to Dee about this. I had never had a need for Instagram. I've had it for 5 years, and because I'm not an artist, outside of releasing a cover or a book, I just did. This was it. My Instagram just twiddled its thumb, waiting for me to do it. I can make a TikTok, put it on my Instagram. Every single one of my Instagram accounts have grown at least 25% and had a 50 to 75% actual increase in activity. My YouTube channel has begun to grow because I'm using the TikToks and putting them on YouTube, but I'm putting them under their shorts section. Use the platforms and put the content on different places. One content can go across 4 platforms. That can get you to be more popular. And that's your tip from me today. So go out there. I know some people are like, I hate Facebook. I know if Buddy were here, he'd hate Facebook. But guess what? Still the dominant guy in the room. We got to use it. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Snapchat, I don't get. I'm not going to be on Snapchat. No. But if you can make it work.
For some people, it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, one day, if you guys understand Snapchat, get on the forums and explain it to us, because some of us missed that boat. Some of us missed the Snapchat boat.
But
I went from Vine to TikTok. I lost it.
The content deletes. It's like, why bother with Snap?
Hey,
right?
For some people, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make it like cool and trendy, I haven't been cool since the 90s, and I'm not into being trendy. I am about the social media algorithms and beating them. So if you know tricks, share it with the group. Let's get it done together. Let's rise together. And with that, we've actually got it. So go ahead. Dee, go for it.